Hey everybody, this is Samuel J. Chase along with Leif Alexander Bernard, and you are watching The Making of Part 1. Well, this is Maine. Spent 9 days here. This is pretty much the very beginning of all beginnings for the show, because right after the 9 days was up, I moved to New Hampshire, where the show ended up starting. In my mind at least, where I was writing out things in my mind and thinking of different video game skits and different plots for the show. But this was pretty much the spark that ignited everything. Well, this is pretty much where EPIC TV SAGA started. Kind of weird because I used to live up there, as you can see, that very top floor, and that's where I had a lot of, my visions, and not really bad ones, but just, a lot of the video game skits that I did as a kid, really a lot of stuff like that would come back to me, and, I had a lot of influence, just, I don't know, comedy kind of stuff. It was really depressing being out here. As you can see, it's kind of a dive. I'd have to look at this thing every night. That would be outside. That'd be outside my window. These trash cans were, it was real funny because I'd always come out and dump my garbage out in them, but I never wanted to go out of my apartment, so I don't know. It was like really annoying to walk 3 stories down to throw out my garbage. Just the beginning of gross EPIC TV SAGA. It was the most depressing time of my life. I hated it here. Moved back to New York. Moved out here for about 5 months, and it really was not worth it living here. I mean, it gave me kind of the inspiration to do the show, but that would be the only thing good out of this, so yeah. And what you think about the character and the show so far?
Well, I'm liking the show. I like the writing, the character David, who is odd and just odd.
Did you ever think you'd be on with EPIC TV SAGA for this long, all 4 years, or how long did you think it was going to last?
I thought I'd be dead. I didn't know.
You thought you'd be dead in like a year after that?
No, in the episode.
I found it funny. I was scared at first, figuring, how am I going to do this? Never acted before in my life.
What made you want to do the show?
I figured it'd be something fun to do on my days off from work.
Turned into a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, I'm in the editor's chair with the computer behind me. I spent so many days with this show. Not only filming it, but then, the editing I've been editing since, I believe it's been April. And that's a very long time. It's now mid-September. I'm here right now with the actor, Paul Anthony. It's great because today we're going to be filming for the first time in 24p with the Canon XL2. The place is a mess. It's completely trashed. All I do is drink. So I drink sodas. It's better than drinking alcohol, especially while you're trying to edit the whole thing. With the whole editing and doing it all, it's not, it's fun, it's great to create, but 6 months straight editing anybody would know that's, living hell, and it's not the best thing in the world.
Nick, really staring up those. And you've got Samuel Chase walking away, director and screenwriter.
And the film crew. Another day on the set.
Clown shoe. So when I was writing it, David really wasn't sure about his character until I actually thought of it being biblical, and because then I thought of Jonathan and David. Well, the awkward thing is that Jonathan was one of the main characters already for the show.
All we have is abstractly in our brains right now that we're working on getting on film.
I have been working, to please the fans. When I'm trying to watch some of the stuff the way I would edit the whole thing and the way that you would want to see it are two different things. I would like to edit it very artistically, make a lot of the scenes a lot longer, And then I'm realizing, that's not really good editing sometimes. When you have like the long, drawn out things and it's very boring, nobody wants to watch it. That's the way the show was originally. And you can watch a special feature with the way I used to edit and old editing versus new editing.
Somewhat special. It came from China. Oh, Super Mac is a love color. She's on a Staten Island.
The trash plates they drew all over the beds.
They put fucking white substance all over the goddamn table.
That crappy Chinese food.
I'll see you in a little bit.
Maybe probably the worst thing about EPIC TV SAGA, maybe not the best, but was that we were all new. I was new at directing. I wasn't new at writing. I'd been writing for several years, but probably the scarier factor is who am I going to get for this show? At the end, we're only on season 1 right now, but at the end we've been filming for people that have been leaving, so I had to write stuff for season 1 through 6. It was really, really difficult. So as for the making of this for season 1, there was so much writing involved, so much directing, but it really came out to be something that I never expected. The worst thing I hated doing the show were, I think, probably 3 things. 1, having to get everybody together to film. That's a big deal because I have to plan my personal schedule around everybody else's, and they have to plan their personal against mine. It's very difficult to get them to come together. If you have friends that all have the same job and work the same hours, that's really going to help you in the show. I didn't have that a whole lot. There were only a couple cast members that did that.
Yeah, I was gonna say this interview.
Dressing up in the video game costumes. Some of them I really liked. The Journey one was my favorite.
Torak, right? Me running through in a little box.
Oh, that was nothing compared to remember that cat? Oh wait, you were in it.
I was Torak. I was the dinosaur.
Wait. You were also in the zombie in Castlevania.
Yeah.
And it was like what? Yeah, I think it was 85 degrees at night. That was time when we did that. We did it down on Park Street.
Yeah.
With Benny Bohannon, and we were in the Metal Gear costumes. And then we went back filming the next, I think 2 weeks later. And the man in the jewelry store next to the ice cream place up in Lake George that we were filming at threatened to shoot us. And I'll never forget that because I'm like, this is for kids. And, he was saying we were in these costumes and you can't tell, that me in a giant baby blue outfit, I'm staging a robbery. He's saying I'm staging a robbery. I don't understand if I had a mask on. Yeah, but I really didn't. And we had a camera, and there were people all around watching us. We were talking to each other. The man knew he just wanted to cause something, but to threaten to shoot me.
Torak was freaking running through woods and got a little hole about this size to look through.
And maybe getting that costume 3 different times.
Yeah.
I'm just staring at this Gonzala.
Gabriel Gonzaga. Oh
Yeah. Just like he's fighting.
I remember filming with Leaf. We got together at Lyric, and I didn't even know him.
Oh, it was love at first sight.
And showed on off, and I'm like, this guy seems pretty cool. I remember thinking that in my head. And Leaf was, we were laughing through the whole thing because it was just silly. They had no idea what to do with me because I was the first guy doing film, and they're just like, oh, we don't really know what to do with you, so...
The guy with the motorcycle.
That's what drew us together. He said, you want to buy a motorcycle with all this money, you can go do that.
Drive off a cliff.
So sorry, I had to give them the ideas. Well, what do you want from me? Well, we want you to be in production for the show for this. It was a grant. And they said, we want you to be in production for it, but you can't be in production for your show to get the grant. It has to be before. I'm like, so what do you want from me? And they say, well, you want to know what you're doing? I go, I'm doing my TV show and I'm trying to get a grant. Well, you can't film it yet. You can't put it in production. Well, what do you want from the show? Well, we need to see something from the show. That's what I got. I didn't get it. I was like, but it can't be because it'll be in production, then I'll avoid my grant. So they were nuts.
And you're like, hey, you want to help me with the show? And I was like, yeah.
But Leaf was awesome.
You just do a tremendous job with the editing, everything that I've seen so far. It's just really fun. It's fun to watch. So just enjoy, you know.
What the show is really come out to be is something that's blown my mind. You guys watching the website, and I mean, we've only had the site up for, and this sounds funny, in 10 years. We've only had the site up for, you know, about 6 months, and there's already over 8,500 views. It's a lot for somebody that has not promoted on DVD or at the cons and all that stuff. So that was pretty big for us.
I think it was a great time. I enjoyed doing it. It was fun.
Fun while it lasted.
And the video game skits were fun.
We're fun to watch than to do, though.
Yeah.
Definitely video games are way more fun to watch than to do.